Hi guys, my name is Brandon from Brandon Go Traveling and welcome to my channel. My job is to help you get out there, explore, see the world, and really answer any questions that you might have about your upcoming adventures. In this video, we're going to be talking about a few places in Ireland, specifically Dublin, the Cliffs of Moher, the Burren, as well as Galway. So let's get started. Right, so let's kick it off with Dublin. Now, depending on where you're coming from, there's a few ways to actually get to the city center, but I'm going to assume that you're flying in from the airport. Now, to get to the airport to Dublin, you could take a taxi, as well as an Uber, but you could also take the bus, and the bus is going to cost you €9, and it'll drop you off right in the heart of the city center. Buses run usually every 30 minutes, so really easy to get to and from the airport to the city and vice versa. One thing I will say is, if you are catching your plane, Dublin does have a lot of traffic, especially if you are going to the airport, so just keep that in mind. But, other than that, Dublin is just a city to have fun and to really absorb some of the architecture that's there. Naturally, I think everybody thinks of alcohol when you go there, but there's more to do in Ireland, but also more to do in Dublin as well. So, like many European cities, there's a lot of churches in Dublin. And one of the ones that I liked going to was the Christ Church Cathedral. Now, it is, one of those like scenic, just Gothic style churches. It was built in 1030. It's just one of those amazing sites that I think you need to check out. Unfortunately, I didn't get a photo of St. Patrick's Cathedral, but again, another church that you should check out and have a look at while you're there. So when you think of Dublin, you probably think of two things. You probably think of the Jameson factory as well as the Guinness factory. So let's dive into a little bit about the Jameson factory. In my opinion, I think the Jameson factory was better than the Guinness factory. And that's only because I felt like during the tour, you really feel like you're embedded into the whole process. They go into such grave detail and you just feel like you feel like you're a proper distiller when you leave it. You're not, but that's what you feel like, probably because 'cause you've had a few too many Jamesons. But, nevertheless, it's still one of those tours that I think you should do and should check out. So this is inside of the bar there in the Jameson factory, and to do the tour itself, it's only €25. It's still it's pretty inexpensive. It's cheaper than the Guinness factory one, but again, I do think you should check it out if you go there. So next up is the Guinness factory here. The Guinness factory was nice. It wasn't as detailed. The tour was. The tour wasn't as detailed as the Jameson factory, but still a good opportunity to learn how the beer is made, as well as to have a nice Guinness from one of their main storehouses. The uh, prices to actually do the tour and things like that, they start out at I believe €26, and they go up from there depending on what more you want to do on that tour. But again, still a nice thing you should do, and it's about a 20-minute walk from the Jameson factory. So this is just a view from the Guinness factory. So up on top there, that you have like a little bar area, and it kind of just overlooks all of Dublin. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't think it was the most prettiest view, but maybe with some beer goggles, maybe it turns into something more scenic. But this is kind of what you get if you go to the Guinness factory, and what you get if you go to Dublin, really. So not only do you think of the Jameson factory and the Guinness factory, you might also think of the Temple Bar. And the Temple Bar, sits right in the heart of Dublin there. And one of the things I like about this bar is they offer a wide range of, different beers and whiskeys, and as well as they also play live music. And, I feel like you really get the entire Irish experience while you're there. But saying that, there's also some other bars not too far from here, and this kind of area is just kind of crowded with different bars. So, you know, I recommend checking out the Temple Bar, but also, broaden yourself out while you're there and check out some of the other places because I think they're, equally as good, if maybe if not better. So if you're not really a big drinker, one of the things that you could do, and I really recommend, is taking one of the bus tours from Dublin to the other side of Ireland. Now, the tour that I did only cost about €40, so it was pretty inexpensive. It wasn't too much, but I definitely got my money's worth. And plus, you get to drive through some of the most greenest and vibrant landscapes that Ireland really has to offer. But anyways, one of the stops that we stopped off at was the Burren. and it's just this giant rock formation that was carved out by the glaciers. So, just another interesting sight to see, that's other than alcohol. There's plenty of things to do in Ireland that, doesn't necessarily have to revolve around drinking. Um, but yeah, definitely recommend doing one of those bus tours. So one of the other places the tour took us was a city called Galway, and Galway was a actually a really nice city. It was smaller than Dublin, but it was still busy, still people out and about, and that's something I really liked. For it being a small city, you were still still felt like you were lively and that people were having a good time, and the atmosphere was just very friendly. I think if I was to come here again, I'd like to at least do a day in this region, maybe stay the night in Galway and explore Western Ireland a little bit more. But yeah, just another city that we were able to go to on the tour. So from the tour, this was definitely my favorite place that I went to, the Cliffs of Moher, and it was absolutely stunning, especially if you're able to catch it on a nice sunny day like today. It was really nice. The tour does drop you off right near the cliff, so you're not too far walking distance from them, as well as you're there for maybe about an hour to an hour and a half. So you do have time to explore, walk around, and actually take in the sight. And here's just a photo from a different angle of those cliffs. Like I was saying, it only took about 3 hours to get from Dublin to this location, so definitely recommend doing. And equally, you are given time to walk around all of the locations that I mentioned on the tour, so you don't really feel too rushed at all. And hey, look, guys, that's going to do it for this trip and this video. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to drop them below. Also, feel free to give me a like and subscribe. And if you're going to Ireland anytime soon, please let me know where you're going. I'm always looking at going back and going to new places. So, yeah, please feel free to drop them below.